Victory begins at Vidyalakshmi.
Hello students, welcome to this YouTube channel. I am Satish Kumar, teacher of English, Vidyalakshmi Metric Higher Secondary School, Channaguppam. In the last video, Mr. Pandian sir ரொம்ப clear-ஆ சொல்லி கொடுத்திருக்காரு direct and indirect speech. So அது வந்து 2 மார்க் ஒரு question வரும். And in this video lesson, we are going to learn active and the passive voice. இந்த grammar 2 மார்க் தான். So இந்த பேஜ் நம்பர் புக்கில் டெக்ஸ்ட் புக்கில் பேஜ் நம்பர் 14 எடுத்துக்கோங்க. பேஜ் நம்பர் 14ல book back exercise. We are going to learn the book back exercises. So if we are thorough with all the exercises, then we are sure we'll get 2 marks in the board exam. Now we'll go with the first question. The manager appointed many office assistants. First, look at the sentence. Before answering to the question, we should understand and we should be very clear that the sentence is in active voice or passive voice. Sometimes they will give you in the question instruction that change the following sentence into passive voice or change the following sentence into active voice. But sometimes in the instruction they will tell you change the following sentence into other voice. So அப்படி கொடுக்கும்போது we have to check the given sentence is active or passive. Now let's have a look at this first sentence. The manager appointed many office assistants. Now subject the manager and the action verb is appointed and the object is many office assistants. So the given sentence is in SVO pattern, that is subject, verb and the object pattern. So we can conclude that this given sentence is an active voice. Fine. இப்போ நம்ம passive voice மாத்துவோம். When we want to change the active into passive voice, we need to follow some rules. It's very easy. Listen to me carefully. First, we have to change the object into a subject when we change into passive voice. Fine. Many office assistants. This is what the object, and appointed, that is a verb. Fine. We can find out the tense based on the action verb. Appointed, that is the past tense. Appointed is a past tense. And the manager is a subject. Now let's convert into passive voice. Many office assistants. Many office assistants. Fine. We have placed the object as a subject here. Next, we want to use the be form verb because be form verb plus V3. This is the identification for the passive voice. We need to have a be form verb plus V3, that is the action verb 3, past participle. And now many office assistants. Now we'll have a be form verb. So the appointed, the verb is past tense. So we need to use past be form verbs. Actually, past be form verbs are was and were. Look at the subject now. Many office assistants. That is plural. So if we have a plural subject, we have to use the plural be form verb. That is a past be form verb were. So many office assistants were. Now, as I told you, we need a V3, verb with past participle. V3 of this action verb is appointed. Appoint, appointed and appointed. So many office assistants were appointed. Now we have to use the agent by, and we change this subject into object, the manager. Yes, now let me read the answer. Many office assistants were appointed by the manager. So this is the passive voice for the given active voice. Fine. Next, second question. You are making a cake now. Now look at the sentence. You is a subject. Are making verb. A cake is an object. Now, I hope you can find out this is an active voice. You are making a cake now. We can change this into passive voice. So what is an object here? Yeah, good. A cake. Now, we have placed an object and I told you, right, we need a be form verb plus V3. Don't forget this rule, be form verb. So look at the verb are making. It's a present continuous tense. So we are not supposed to change the tense when we change into active or into passive. So we are not supposed to change the tense. Fine. You are making a cake now. Are making is a present continuous tense. We got the be form verb are, present be form verb. Right. We can take this one. So the present be form verbs are am, is, are. These are the present be form verbs. Fine. As we have the subject a cake, it's a singular. We have to use a singular be form verb from these three. So that is a cake is, and the next one is making. It's a continuous tense. Is are making. It's a continuous tense. We have to use the be form verb being. A cake is being, and what can be the V3 for this one? Make, made and made. So made is the V3. And by you, the subject comes as an object in the passive voice. That's it. Let me read the answer. First one question, you are making a cake now. The passive voice is a cake is being made by you. Fine. I hope you understand. And let's move on with the third sentence. That portrait was painted by my grandmother. Now, let me read the sentence again. That portrait was painted by my grandmother. Fine. Shall we take a look about the subject and the object? That portrait is a subject. And was painted, verb, by my grandmother, is an object. Fine. Now look at the sentence. That portrait was painted by my grandmother. And particularly look at this one, this part of the sentence. Was painted. Was painted. Now, I hope you can understand what is this. Was is the past be form verb. Good. And painted, that is the V3. So this is the be form verb plus V3. So this is a rule to find out the passive voice. If a sentence has be form verb plus V3, then definitely the sentence is going to be the passive voice. In that case, this sentence is a passive voice. That portrait was painted by my grandmother. Good. Now we are going to change the passive voice into active voice. Now the same rule. Object comes as a subject. My grandmother. We got the subject, my grandmother. Next, we want the verb because this pattern, SVO, subject, verb and the object pattern for the active voice. Fine, my grandmother. And look at the verb, was painted. Was painted. We want the action verb. So look at this one, was is the past be form verb. We'll omit this past be form verb and we can change the action verb into past tense. My grandmother painted, then subject comes as an object. That portrait. Yes, let me read the question and answer. Listen to me carefully. That portrait was painted by my grandmother. It's a given question. So we found this is a passive voice and we have changed this sentence into an active voice. Look at this one. The object, my grandmother, becomes a subject in the active voice, and painted, past tense, painted, and that portrait, that's the subject, goes as a object in the active voice. So my grandmother painted that portrait. Yes. Now shall we move on to the next one? There's a fourth question. Malini had bought a colorful hat for her daughter. Let me repeat. Malini had bought a colorful hat for her daughter. Can you identify the sentence either active or passive voice? Malini had bought a colorful hat for her daughter. Shall we check it? Yes. Malini is a subject, right? Had bought, verb. A colorful hat is an object. Look at this sentence carefully. Malini is a subject, had bought is a verb, a colorful hat is an object. We don't have any be form verb plus V3 combinations here. So this is not a passive voice. Definitely it's an active voice. Now we are going to change this into passive voice. Okay. We'll take this one object, a colorful hat. Right? We got the subject, a colorful hat. Now we need be verb plus V3 to change it into passive voice. A colorful hat, and we need a B3. Just look at this one. Had bought. We will take this verb. A colorful hat had, and we have to use the be form verb been. The colorful hat had been, and we need a V3. V3 for the word bought is buy, bought, bought. So V3 is bought. Bought and by. By whom? By Malini. For her daughter. For her daughter. So let me read the question and the answer. Malini had bought a colorful hat for her daughter. That's a question. We found it's an active voice, and we have changed this into passive voice. Now look at the answer. A colorful hat had been bought by Malini for her daughter. Yes, that's it for this one. And we'll move on with the fifth sentence. They have asked me to pay the fine. They have asked me to pay the fine. Right? Can you identify the sentence, either active or passive? Shall we? They, subject. Good. Have asked, verb. What's an object then? Me. Subject, verb, and the object. Right? So you can find out it's an active voice. Now shall we change this into passive voice? First we'll take this object as a subject in the passive voice. So me changes into I. Me in the active voice changes into passive voice in as I. And next, have asked. I have. We have to use the be form verb been. And V3. Be form verb plus V3. This is the shortcut and shortcut formula for the passive voice. So we got the be form verb, and we need the V3 form of the verb asked. Already V3 enna asked. Ask, asked, asked. So I have been asked to pay the fine by them. Look at this one. The subject they changes into them in the passive voice. Now, let me read the question answer. I have been asked to pay the fine by them. Alright? Right. Now, we'll move on with the sixth sentence. The militants were being taken to prison by the police. The sixth one is, the militants were being taken to prison by the police. Now, we just identify either it's an active voice or a passive voice. First, we'll find out subject. The militants, subject, were being taken. So, verb. By the police, object. Got it? So, if you look at the sentence clearly, then you can identify the sentence is a passive voice, because look at this one. Were being taken. So, be form verb plus V3 is given here. Now, then we have to change it into active voice. Say, the police we got the subject, and what is the verb given here? Were being taken. It's a past tense. It's a past tense. So here being, so we can find out it's a past continuous tense. So were being is a past continuous tense. Now the police was taken changes into taking. The militants, the subject becomes an object. The militants look, the police was taking the militants to the prison. Look at the sentence. The militants were being taken to prison by the police. The answer is, the police was taking the militants to the prison. So the given sentence is a passive voice, and we have changed this into an active voice. Alright. Now we'll discuss about the seventh one. His behavior vexes me. His behavior vexes me. So simple sentence. This question is being asked so many times in the exams. So listen carefully. Right. Let's find out the subject, verb and the object. His behavior is a subject. And many students make mistakes in this sentence that they'll consider his as the subject. His only as a subject. No. His behavior is a subject. His mattum subject area. So his behavior is a subject. And vexes, verb, and me is an object. Alright? It's very simple. We'll change into passive voice because it's an active sentence. Right? The object me changes into I in the passive voice. I. Now, what is the verb? Vexes. The tense is present tense, simple present tense. Vexes. So, the given tense is present tense. We have to use the present be form verbs. So, I am. Already I have told you, am, is, and are the present be form verbs. So we can use am with I. I am, and we need a V3. Do you remember? Be form verb plus V3 for passive voice. So we got the be form verb I am, I and the am. And what is an action verb here? Vex. The V3 is vexed. I am vexed by his behavior. We'll have the subject as an object in the passive voice. By his that's very simple, right? His behavior vexes me. His behavior is a subject, and vexes is a verb, and me is an object. The given sentence is active voice, and we have changed this into passive voice. The object me changes into I in the passive voice, and the be form verb am, because the given tense is present tense. We are not supposed to change the tense in the active and the passive voice. So we have placed am as a present be form verb, and we need a V3. to make it into a passive voice. So vex, the V3 is vexed, and by the agent is behavior. His behavior subject becomes an object in the passive voice. His behavior. Yes, I hope you understand. And the eighth one, Rosie will solve the problem. This question is also asked too many times in the exams, in the government revision exams, right? Rosie will solve the problem. Listen to the sentence very carefully. And first, we shall find out the subject. Rosie will solve the verb. The problem is an object. Rosie is a subject. Will solve is the verb. The problem is an object. So we can't. We don't find, or we can't find a B form verb plus V3. So it is not going to be the passive voice. It's an active voice. Now we have to change this active voice into passive voice. Now the object, the problem. The problem, right? We need a verb. Will solve. That's the future tense. Simple future. Will solve. We'll take the same verb. The problem will. We need a B form verb because B plus V3. I often just giving this one. The problem will be B form verb, and V3. The action verb is solve. The V3 is solve, solved, solved. The problem will be solved by Rosie. The subject goes as an object in the passive voice. The problem will be solved by Rosie. It's very simple, right? Rosie will solve the problem, and the answer is the problem will be solved by Rosie. Right? It's very simple, right? And the ninth one, our army has defeated the enemy. Can you find out the subject? Yes, our army. Then what is the verb? Has defeated. Obviously, yes. Object is the enemy. So we got subject, verb, and then object. So it's an active voice. We'll change this into passive voice. You know, right? The object comes as a subject in the passive voice. Let's write. The enemy. The enemy, we got the subject. And has defeated. Now just look at this one. Has defeated. The enemy is singular. We have to use the enemy has. And we need a B form verb. Been. And V3. B verb plus V3. The enemy has been defeated. The V3, already it is a V3 form, so we can have the same verb. The enemy has been defeated, the agent by. The subject comes as an object in the passive voice. Our army. It's very simple. Look, our army has defeated the enemy. The enemy has been defeated by our army. That's it. Fine. Now we'll look at the last in the queue. That's the 10th one. The salesman answered all the questions passionately. The salesman answered all the questions passionately. Right? Can you find out either active or passive? Let's try. The salesman. Subject, good. Answered is a verb. All the questions. It's an object. The salesman answered all the questions. So we got subject, verb, and object. Fine. So can you find out active or passive? It's an active voice. Now we'll change this one. All the question. All the questions. We got the subject. And we need a verb. Look at the action verb here. Answered. What is the tense? Answered. It's a past tense. So we need a past B form verb. We know, right? Was and were. These are the past B form verbs. We have to use any one from these two. And look at the subject, all the questions. Is that singular or plural? Because for singular subject we need to use was, for plural subject we need to use were. And now this one, all the questions is plural. Hence we have to use were. All the questions were, and we need a be form verb plus V3, right? As I told you, we got the be form verb and we need a V3, and look at the action verb, answered. So V3 is answered. Answer, answered, answered. By the salesman, the agent by the salesman will have this adverb patiently. Got it? Yeah. Let me just repeat this one. Look at the given question. The 10th one. The salesman answered all the questions patiently. So I've told you, and we found it's an active voice. We have changed this into passive voice. Look at the passive voice. The object, all the questions, comes as a subject. All the questions. It's a plural subject. We need a plural be form verb. And one more thing, answered is a past tense. We need a past be form verbs. So was and were, these are the past be form verbs. So for the plural subject, we need to use were. All the questions were. And we need a V3. Just remember this, be verb plus V3. So V3 is answered by the agent, the salesman. We can add the same adverb patiently. That's it with this sentence. And thank you all. I will discuss the remaining active and the passive sentences in the next video. Thank you.